The argument that I think, taking on Katinska's last point about when countries become independent, I think this is something that Russian politicians have always been complaining about, saying that, oh, this is the old Warsaw Bloc mentality, those people hate us, and they're actually creating more problems in a relationship with Europe because they became independent and they're trying to play their own political games and game in international relations. I think that a lot of that will depend on whether there will be actually shale gas development in the foreseeable future in those countries that you mentioned. Because I think that Russians really have the capacity to act quite quickly. And as I said earlier, there is a lot of pressure now, particularly from companies such as Novatek, but also from the Russian oil companies, particularly Rosneft, which is moving into gas business very actively, and could potentially displace Gazprom to a certain degree within Russia, also externally. So I don't know, I think that it's often difficult to make predictions. Your question, is it related to 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years? When we look at this, another important aspect to remember about all these forecasts, what we're talking about, if you look at the latest, they're talking about 2035, 2040. So we're looking about, 20, 30 years ahead. Look at what we're now in year 1920, 20, 30 years ahead. What has happened in the world? So I think this is an important point, that the world is changing at a very fast pace, and I think that a lot of this forecasts and predictions are just a guide for us to base our decisions.